Hi guys, sorry I'm not there today. I'm in a meeting right now, so I can't be there to walk you through the notes, so I'm going to do this video instead. Hopefully you have the notes and you guys can take these down with you. So we're going to go over some skills that we should kind of already have. This is the idea that if x equals 5, we want to know if this inequality is true. So we're going to take that 5 and we're going to plug it in to see if we get a true statement. This says that 15 minus 7 is less than or equal to 6. Is 8 less than or equal to 6? No, so this is not a solution. Okay, the next one we're going to graph the equation. In order to graph this, I recommend that you put it into slope-intercept form, which means y needs to be all by itself. So we're going to add x to both sides. And then to get y by itself, we need to divide everything by 2. That's going to give us y equals 1/2 x plus 1. To graph this, we need our slope, which is that 1/2, and our y-intercept, which is 1. So we're going to start at the y-intercept, which is 1, and then to graph 1/2, we're going to go up 1 to the right 2. Up 1 to the right 2. When we can't go up and to the right anymore, we go down and to the left. Okay, there's our line. Hopefully you remember how to do these. These are going to be key in helping you through today's assignment. Okay, so we're going to go through some key vocabulary. Linear inequalities are in 2 variables, so x and y can be written as y is less than mx plus b. Y is greater than mx plus b, and then we have the equal to's as well. Less than or equal to and greater than or equal to. Okay, solution of a linear inequality in 2 variable is an ordered pair that makes the inequality true. And we're actually going to practice this right down here. So looking at the first one that I do, so we are going to plug these in. This is going to be your x and y, just like a normal point. We're going to plug those numbers in, and we're going to see if it's true. This is -2 plus 9 is less than -3. This is going to give me 7 is less than -3, which is not true, so this one is not a solution. Okay, let's try another one. Same idea. This is x, this is y. We're going to plug those in for their numbers. 2 minus 3 times -2 is greater than or equal to 8. 2 plus 6 is greater than or equal to 8. 8 is greater than or equal to 8, which is in fact true, so this is a solution. I want you to pause this and try the you-do on your own. Okay, same thing. At the end, you should have gotten -7 is greater than -8, which is also a solution. Okay. So now we're going to talk about graphing linear inequalities. We have to talk about the boundary line. Okay, the boundary line is kind of like what we drew up here, only since it's an inequality, we have to talk about how to graph those. So you're going to create a dashed line if your inequality is just less than or greater than. If it's a less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, then it's a solid line. And then we have to shade it above or below the line. So it's above the line for greater than or equal to, and it's below for less than or equal to. I'm not a particular fan of memorizing these things, so I like to check a point in our shaded region, and I'll show you how to do that with our first example. So for this one, we're going to graph like normal. Okay, my slope is in front of the x, so it's that -1. My y-intercept is -4, so we're going to start at -4. Slope is -1, so we're going down 1 to the right 1. When we can't anymore, we're going to go up and to the left. And then this is less than or equal to, which means it is a full line. It is not dotted. Okay, now we have to talk about where to shade this. So it is less than or equal to, which means we should be shading below. But sometimes it's not always easy to see what I mean by below. Like if you have a straight up and down line, where would you shade that? So my favorite thing to do is to plug in an easy point and see if the inequality is true, kind of like we did up here. And the side that you shade is the side that should be true. My favorite point to plug in is 0, 0 because it's the easiest. If your line is on that dot, then try to do one pretty close to it. That's also easy to do. So I'm going to plug in the solution 0, 0. This is x, this is y. So we would get 0 is less than or equal to 0 minus 4. That one means 0 is less than or equal to negative 4. That is not true. Since it's not true, we wouldn't shade where the 0, 0 is. So we would want to shade on the other side of that line. Okay. All right, let's try another one. This is a bit of a word problem. Student government is selling class t-shirts and glow sticks at the homecoming game. T-shirts are $20 each. Glow sticks are $2 each. In order to cover the cost of supplies, we need to make at least $900. Use X as the number of t-shirts, Y is the number of glow sticks. Okay. We are going to write and graph an inequality to show how many t-shirts and glow sticks must be sold. So we have X is t-shirts and Y is glow sticks. And we know that t-shirts are 20, so that would be 20x. And we know that glow sticks are 2y, and we need at least $900. At least meaning the price that we pull in is greater than or equal to that 900. Now in order to be able to graph this, it does need to be put into slope-intercept form, which means we need to subtract 20x from both sides. And then we're going to go ahead and divide by that too. That'll leave us with y is greater than or equal to negative 10x plus 450. Graph this, we're going to go up to 450. This is going down 50, and it's going over 5. So if you think about our slope being negative 10 is the same thing as negative 50 over 5. So we're just going to go down one and to the right one. This isn't equal to, it's greater than or equal to, which means our line is going to be solid. However, we are talking about money. I'm sorry, we're talking about how many of these we've sold. So we aren't going to draw the lines on either side of them. If 30 t-shirts are sold, what is the minimum number of glow sticks that must be sold to break even? So we want to look where 30 t-shirts is. These are the t-shirts. So if we're looking at 30 t-shirts, how many must be sold? It's 150. If you didn't have a graph, you could always plug that in for x, because x is the t-shirts. So you would get y is greater than or equal to negative 10 times 30 plus 450. That's negative 300 plus 450, which is also your 150. 22 t-shirts, again, you can plug that in. 22 t-shirts and 250 glow sticks. You can plug that in. Solving this, you would get 440 plus 500 is greater than or equal to 900. This says that 940 is greater than or equal to 900, which is true. That means we can cover the cost. There we go. The next one is a you do. I want you to go ahead and pause this video and give it a try. Okay, Pizzas are $12, breadsticks are $4. He's hoping to spend less than 180. X is the number of pizzas, Y is the number of breadsticks. Here we go. So this is going to come out to X is pizzas, Y breadsticks. So we should get 12x plus 4y, and it's less than 180. We need to subtract the 12x from both sides. Oop, forgot my x there. And then we're going to divide by 4. It's going to leave me with negative 3x plus 45. This is the only example so far. I didn't shade up here. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. We want this to be greater than or equal to 900. Since it's greater than or equal to 900, we would have to try and plug in. You can do 0, 0 again just to see. And this says that 0 is greater than or equal to 450, which is not true. So you don't want to shade there. You would want to shade above this graph. Okay. All right, let's get back to this one. I'm so sorry. Here we go. We're going to start at 45. We are going down 3 and to the right 1, which is the same thing as going down 15 and to the right 1 here. 15, here we go. And then since it's less than, this is going to be a dotted line. Let's figure out where it's shaded. I'm going to use my 0, 0 again. 0 is less than 0 plus 45, which means 0 is less than 45. Since that's true, we want to shade where the 0 is, which would be below this line. Okay. Budgets, you're just plugging numbers really in. This is 10 pizzas. And this should have been 180 is less than 180. So no, he will not be under budget. There are no word problems on your homework for today. It's really just all about graphing. So please make sure that you use this information here to help you with your graphing. Remember dashed line, solid line, and whether you're shading above or below. Hope this helps. Have a great day, guys.